The future urban structure will affect the industrial system and development of the entire world. Ma Wan Island is chosen as the design site for the deduction and display of future urban design. Through the development of China's industrial structure from 2019 to 2020, it can see that new energy, which will be a large proportion of the field, and in terms of sustainable development, the application of new energy vehicles and solar energy will be an indispensable part of the development of a city. For companies and brands in the fields of technology, retail, media, and telecommunications in the world, technology companies still account for a very important proportion. In the global economy, the continuous creation of different values is also an important part of the entire urban development system. And for the modules of different world factories such as digital media, manufacturing services, etc., through the centralized processing of data, the structure of the entire industry can be divided into 5 different main areas of digital, automated communication, multimedia data, efficiency and information, industry planning and reorganization in the future. 25% of China's economic revenue comes from online retailing, and consumers prefer a combination of online and offline for online shopping, accounting for 85%, so it can be seen that the way of online shopping will be an important part of future urban development. On the other hand, in the entire mobility goal of sustainable development, the structure of the data also makes it concentrated in the 3 directions of universal access, efficiency and green. Through communication in different fields, the planning of a city can have a better development. From 2019 to 2020 for Hong Kong's market, there will be a trade deficit of $1 billion every year. At the same time, it is highly dependent on the export trade of high-tech industries in Europe and the United States, that the proportion of imports in the primary industry has reached 70%. In the urban development of Hong Kong, the improvement of primary industries such as agriculture or animal husbandry will also be a large proportion. At the same time, according to the simulation data of the proportion of aging in Hong Kong, the proportion of the elderly over 66 years old will reach about 40% in 2025. For a seriously aging society, driverless, robotics and automation fields development will gain a rapid growth. In the next 3 decades. Through the analysis of Hong Kong's traffic routes and subway passenger capacity, the development of Hong Kong's concentrated cities will burden the traffic system. The continuous increase and concentration of the population density will also trigger the urban heat island effect, which will be a negative state for the protection, sustainable development of the future urban environment. In the urban design of Ma Wan Island, the problems of economic development such as the single transportation system of the island, the inability to develop traditional fishing villages, and the loss of young population are the current situation of Ma Wan. Facing a series of social problems such as large number of people going to the central area during working hours, and left behind elderly and children, it will also be an inevitable negative state of Ma Wan. In the next 50 years, the greenhouse effect caused by the continuous destruction of the environment on Ma Wan Island may cause the sea level to continue to rise and submerge 70% of the land area, which will also be a must in the entire design problem to be solved. In addition, the protection and development of the animal and plant ecological environment on Ma Wan Island will also be an important part of urban design. In the traditional Chinese architecture, the circle culture is an important part in the architectural system of different representatives. In the south or north of China, even in today's slums in Hong Kong, it will bring safety, embrace and surround, etc., give people an ancient sense of need. And based on public transportation, living an ecosystem in urban design will solve the current situation of Ma Wan Island and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals promulgated by the United Nations. From the analysis of the original Ma Wan life, public space and green system, the simplification of the entire island system, and the lack of communication between different areas are also the basis for the current situation and design of Ma Wan Island. Greater exchange of land and sport as the basis for urban development. The 4 systems of human life as a community, and then through the exchanges between communities of different sizes, the entire city can be developed as the basis for the sustainable development of the entire Ma Wan city. In urban design, the concept of decentralized city was proposed by Victor Gruen during World War II. Through the concept of the average development of different systems of the city, a decentralized urban structure was formed to face the problems of overpopulation and uncoordinate regional development, and in today's microscopic perspective, the orderly network system of biological cells can also be the development of sustainable cities in the future. From the central city to today's community economy, through the deduction of time, the future will develop into a decentralized network of urban systems, so that the entire city will get a positive and average development. Through the basic island port and road traffic to become a node, and then simulate the future urban traffic system, through shortest walk testing for the next 20 years and 40 years of continuous changes, and finally form an organic urban traffic network. The vector field is used to help the city to carry out different spatial organization. In some cases, a parameter will be changed in the entire space to affect the variables of the entire system. The simulation of the site is generated in a way that conforms to the spatial organization and phenomena. Change different parameters to affect different organizational spaces, connect the space with social organization, form an organic urban space through the original land, and let the buildings and traffic of the whole city have a close communication and in the organic traffic, the network and vector parameters are combined to form the optimal scale of a city, and finally the design concept of the entire city building will be perfected through the facade of science and technology. The city's roundabout railway will allow a city to have a faster mode of transportation. The traffic through trains and subways will allow people to have a fast and convenient way to travel, and the vehicle traffic of the island will also allow it to reach any location through efficient closed-loop design can allow the community to have more space for communication, eventually adding walking and cycling paths, allowing people to have a healthy lifestyle in the future. On the other hand, an analysis and simulation of the future population of the city is carried out. Through the changes in the next 40 years, and the dynamic deconstruction of different types of people, in time and space, a decentralized urban structure and a functionally complete urban structure are designed sustainable tech city. For the concept of urban landscape design, through the living environment of humans and non-humans in the island, the entire island not only has a technological primary industry ecosystem but also establishes more decomposition and energy processing in the transition area. In central area of the island, a natural ecological environment allows for an active development of animals and plants undisturbed by humans. In the next 20 years, through modular splicing and development, the development of fishery will have a different mobile development form to cope with future sea level rise and other environmental and regional constraints. Ecological means in the state of floating islands, let the entire marine area have a three-dimensional industrial structure. In the entire landscape design, it also revolves around the three forms to influence each other, so that the entire island has a sustainable ecosystem, and through the technological farms to affect the primary industry chain of the entire island, allowing the island to pass through. Different the innovative technology farm form improves organic food, and at the same time allows the entire urban design to change the living environment of human beings, through sustainable energy and waste recycling. In the transportation system, let unmanned and unmanned aerial vehicles cover any part of the island, allowing people to have a more convenient and intelligent way of travel. For the human living system, digitalization and sustainability will be an important part of the entire living system, respond to people's daily needs in a sustainable way through technology. A solar illumination analysis was carried out on the entire urban design and building units in different time periods, so that the technological skin and architectural form, the space can have a different shape through the sunlight in different time periods. Variation compress on with traditional architectural forms to form the final architectural model. Through the design of movable solar panels, the tropical climate area can avoid direct sunlight and have a sustainable energy acquisition. And through the change of shape, the entire building space can also obtain a light environment without direct sunlight at the same time, and through the light induction to make the mechanical mobile device, so that the entire solar panel changes its shape according to the change of sunlight. Finally, the decentralized urban design of Malwan Island will be formed in the future. From the unmanned landscape area on the lower floor to the human living space on the upper floor, the interspersed traffic system allows humans and animals to have a mutual undisturbed relations. But there will be the way of communication to control the design direction of the whole sustainable city. By letting unfamiliar elderly visit the island, the decentralized urban design of Malwan Island has a different way of experience, and then show the perfect traffic flow and human living space. Different floors and aerial roads are effectively connected in the building space and transportation system, and different elements such as vertical farms and sky gardens are also included in the entire building design, forming the final organic urban design. Finally, the details of urban spaces and buildings are displayed in different urban nodes.